starting basic question for the viewers here, because some of our business owners that don't know how to write code or HTML. So Ryan, I'll start with you and I'll pass this over to you as well, Carrie. An amateur web guy like myself, is it worth it for me to go out there and try to learn how to write code and study the stuff, or is it better served to invest my money and time in someone like yourself to go? And this isn't a push to have you guys push your companies, but still, I don't know how to write HTML code. Should I just pass it off to an expert?
Absolutely not. And I'll tell you what, I know how to
Absolutely not what?
Absolutely do not try and write your own code. You're going to screw it up. Would you try and work on your own engine if you were familiar with even how to change oil?
Not even close.
No.
I can barely change a tire. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I know how to write some code, but I don't know how to do Flash very well. So what I do is I write the code, and for the thing I don't know how to do, I have friends that I've relied upon to write that for me. And that's just the way business works. If you don't know how to do it, hire somebody else to do it. Don't screw it up the first time by doing it wrong.
Now, in addition to that, I agree with Ryan there. But based on my experience, basically, is you have to have good software and support that you don't have to rely on a webmaster all the time for.
Not but the amateur guy. You mean the experts I hire?
Right, like if you have an expert, but the same token, you want to have some control.
Right.
For instance, the reason I say that is sometimes you would want to make changes to your site, and sometimes it might take weeks on end for a webmaster to get to that.
Exactly.
And in my experience, most business owners don't have the knowledge of HTML code either.
Yeah, because I mean, I want to go and make some quick changes to like a news item. I don't want to keep bringing on people. So I want to be able to go on there, be able to change the stuff as on the fly rather than wait 4 to 5 weeks to get that stuff done. All right, but would you recommend, a lot of companies out there like Network Solutions and a lot of these other companies give you templates? Like, so would you recommend the templates, or do you really recommend hiring someone and putting together your own website?
Okay, well.
And what has been your experience with these Network Solutions and GoDaddy, these templates that you have out there? I mean, are they worth the investment?
Well, in my opinion, because I specialize in optimization, pre-optimization from the get-go, and in some of those cases, it's a little bit harder to do that effectively. With the software and tools that I use, it's a lot easier.
So if I have a GoDaddy website, is it worth, can I go hire you guys and still help me optimize my website, or is it better to have you guys from scratch?
You can always take your existing thing and optimize it, just like Carrie's saying. However, I've run into this a lot of times when we work with small local businesses, lawyers especially, and like you're talking about those network solutions.
Right.
There are companies that prey upon small businesses, literally preying upon them as the one-stop shop for marketing solutions, and they charge you 30, 40, 50 bucks a month to give you a templated site and then nothing else. And so what happens in Google is if you're searching for like a lawyer or a chiropractor, you'll hit 2 or 3 of them in a row that have the exact same site with maybe one's a teal background, one's a blue background, one's a red one. It's absolutely ridiculous. As a consumer, if I'm looking at your site and I see your site looks
there's no differentiation.
Like that, what makes me want to go with you? There's nothing to separate you and like make you stand out.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. So how often should you change your website or keywords in order to stay at the top of the rankings? Is it something ongoing? If it's working, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, or what would you recommend?
Well, you just took the words right out of my mouth, actually. That's what I was going to say. Well, if you're at the top mark, you don't want to do too many changes to stay there, but you want to continue to add relative content that's based upon what your website was optimized for to begin with.
Okay.
I'm not going to have to disagree with her on that. That's pretty much what it is. If you're already there, unless Google changes something that causes you to drop, which they've been known to do.
Really?
Yeah, because Google is very secretive about their formulas, and occasionally they'll make some changes to it, and your site will go from page 1 to page 5 one day.
I've noticed that.
And so that happens, and then you might want to reevaluate it. But otherwise.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be